Hi, this is Vanessa Nelson. I'm an EFT practitioner, and I help people to face and release negative and limiting emotions such as fear, anxiety, anger, sadness, and much, much more. Today, I'm creating this video to help people who feel like they're having a hard time breathing while they're wearing their face mask. Because while wearing a face mask may change your sensation of respiration, the reassuring lack of unconscious surgical teams suggests that we might actually be more in control of our experience of our breathing while we're wearing the face mask. And so we can use EFT as a tool to reduce our discomfort. Now you're going to want to go ahead and get into a quiet setting by yourself if you can, and bring a clean face mask. And I'm going to go through the tapping points for you again, just to make sure that you know where we're going to go. We're going to start at the top of the head, right behind the crown, and then the inside corner of the eyebrow, either side or both sides if you want, outside corner of the eye, under the nose, under the lip, the collarbone, and then the spot under the arm, which is right about palm width from the armpit. And you can either press on each of those areas or you can tap on them several times, like I'll demonstrate in the tapping instruction. As always, I want to remind you that while we're tapping through, if you are not ready to move along with me, if you're still stuck in an emotion that you need to bring down further before we move through, feel free to pause me. If you get uncomfortable, the emotions come up a little bit before they come down. That's normal. Uncomfortable is a normal part of EFT. If you get overwhelmed, go ahead and pause the video and tap on an affirmation of your strength and your control in the situation, such as I am safe or I am in control, until your emotion comes down to a more manageable level. And if you do feel overwhelmed, feel free to follow up with your EFT practitioner and or your therapist. And as always, keep open communication with your health professional about your wellness. So I want you to start by putting your mask on and observe the fit of your mask. If it smushes your nose and you can't breathe because your nose is smushed, then that's the problem. It's the wrong mask, and you need a mask that fits better. But if it doesn't smush your nose, then you're probably going to be okay with your mask. Now, pick it up a little bit and see if you can physically feel if your nose is moving. It's in contact with my nose. It changes the sound quality of my voice, but it's not smushing my nose, but it feels like it in my mind. But when I physically test it, it's not. So test it out first and find out, is that actually what's happening? And if it doesn't smush your nose, then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so now that we've confirmed that you're working with a mask that does not physically smush your nose, we can go ahead and go to the next step. And the way we're going to start is becoming aware of our breathing to begin with, and just assess where it is, because actually a lot of times we're not even breathing in a very efficient way, even when we're not wearing the mask either. Well, certainly fear and anxiety can cause us to breathe more shallowly, and anger can also affect the way that we breathe. So, and really, if you're in a chronic situation of stress, then you can end up just by habit breathing more shallowly, and it can contribute, of course, to headaches and fatigue and a lack of clear thought in stressful situations. It can really affect a lot of things. So it's good to be able to go ahead and assess where you are, even when you're not wearing the mask. So go ahead and take a good breath and just notice how you feel it in your body. So breathe in and observe how deeply it moved into your body, and give it a quality on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being you hardly got a breath at all. 10 being you got the most profound yogic breath you've ever gotten. So you can have an idea of where you are breathing just as a baseline. So once you're aware of that, and you recognize that maybe you're not at 10, which most of us aren't at 10 most of the time, then you can go ahead and start tapping on
the idea of somehow your breathing is being restricted already, whether it's by stress or your choice of posture or just a habit. So let's start tapping through the tapping points on the phrase, this restricted breathing. So start here, this restricted breathing, 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 this restricted breathing. You can't see, but I'm on that spot under the arm. We'll go through one more time. This restricted breathing, this restricted breathing, this restricted breathing, this restricted breathing, this restricted breathing. You're probably already starting to notice a difference. This restricted breathing, this restricted breathing, this restricted breathing. All right, now take another breath to assess it. Now, if you're at a spot where you feel comfortable and you feel like you're taking healthy, full, deep breaths, then you're ready to move on to the next step. But if you still feel like you're having restrictions in your breathing, if you're not breathing as deeply as you want to, you're having difficulty, then keep tapping. Go ahead and pause me and tap a couple more rounds. If you have to get more specific about your sensations, like if you can describe the experience, for example, like somebody sitting on your chest, or like something's bound around you, or whatever feelings you might be experiencing, putting a label on it is going to help make it more manageable, more identifiable, and more treatable. So go ahead and pause me if you need to. If not, then we're going to move on to our next step. So in the next step, I want you to have your mask on, and if you have difficulty putting the mask on to start with, I would recommend that you go find my video on anxiety and discomfort with mask wearing and how to use EFT to reduce your anxiety and discomfort with wearing the mask, and that will help you. I find already I feel like a different sensation, so I'm sure that you do too if you have your mask on already. So once you have your mask on, go ahead and take a breath and see how it feels. And just become aware of it, honor it. And then we'll go ahead and start tapping on the idea of restricted breathing with the mask on. So we'll go to the top of the head. This restricted breathing. This restricted breathing. Don't forget to assign a number to it. This restricted breathing. And keep your legs uncrossed. I made that mistake myself. This restricted breathing. This restricted breathing. This one will wiggle your nose. This restricted breathing. This restricted breathing.
And this restricted breathing. Now you can go across your chest this way, or you can go under your arms. Either way is fine. Crossing my legs again, bad habit. This restricted breathing. 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 So again, go ahead and pause me and tap through as many times as you need to feel like you're comfortable breathing with the mask on.
So I hope that's helpful. You can try it each time that you put the mask on if you have to revisit it each time. And you can use it just in the car. I mean, it's really basic script. It's 3 words, so hopefully it'll be memorable enough that you can use it on the go without having to pull the video up each time. But if you have any other suggestions or requests for tapping videos, go ahead and comment below. Let me know, and let me know if this was helpful. And like and subscribe if you don't mind, and share with anybody that you think that this would be helpful for, because I know that it's not necessarily a comfortable change, but hopefully it can be easier after using something like this. And I think that's it. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you on the next video.